Bang! Neevesknives. We are live, ladies and gentlemen, live on Neevesknives, and I am Jared. How's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully all is well with everybody. Honestly, I do not have a lot written down. I do got a couple things, but figure we would just shoot the shit and see how everything's going. I do got a couple topics to talk about. And I'll wait for people to start crowding in here. Hopefully we have a live one tonight. I did notice that I probably shouldn't speak too much about it because it is their business, but Transparent Knives did issue his thing back to Rick Hinder because Rick Hinder sent him the cease and assist. And so Brian responded and said that he wasn't going to, with something written from a lawyer. So he obviously got a lawyer with the money we helped him out with the GoFundMe, and issued a response saying he wasn't going to take it down. Basically that he hasn't done anything wrong, and that that everything, he said basically falls under freedom of speech. And the way because it's a long letter, it's like 4 pages, but if I was going to sum it up, which I'm not because it's not, me saying it, but is that basically everything you said is against freedom of speech and my constitutional rights, and you're trying to get me to say what you want me to say rather than me stating my own opinions, which was everything I said. He didn't say anything false. He said only his own opinions. So, but it's sad, man. It's sad what's going on. It really killed me to even put that knife in that video yesterday, that tag video. Also, shout out to Stasa23, Ray from Everyday City Carry, and Tri-State EDC. Hopefully, I seen Stasa's already got his video up of the tag video. If you guys seen it yesterday, awesome video, man. He even did more knives than me. Damn it. I thought I was putting up too much, and I didn't want to do that because I hate if I do a tag video and I do a tag video with a bunch of knives and then I tag somebody who, might not have as many knives. I don't want to do that. But Stasa, man, he's got a damn collection over there. He's got stuff that I bet you he forgets about. He's got a badass collection. But yeah, man, I did put the Hinder in there. Somebody did say something to me in the comments that I shouldn't have did that, because of everything going on. And I agree with them, honestly. I know a lot of people would look at it and be like, no, man, it's your video. But the point is that with what's going on right now, I find it completely offensive to the community, and I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't be supporting or representing a brand that does that. But anyways, yeah, hopefully Cole, I don't know if Cole's seen it or not. I guess I should check Instagram and see if he's seen it. I did send it to him. Now, that thing I talked about, and I know you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, but it's here. That thing I keep talking about that's going to go right there, it's here. So that video will be coming soon, and I guarantee you guys couldn't guess what it is for the life of you. So don't even try, because there's no way in hell you guys will ever guess what's about to go on the wall right there. Not in a million years, but it's pretty badass, and I will be doing a video on it and then putting it up on the wall in the video. So after this is the last live I think that you guys will see this zone without it right behind us. It's going to be pretty badass. Stasa is the king. Yes, he is. King of the top 10s featuring 37 knives. I know that's where I got it from. You guys thought I made that shit up. I got it from him. Top 10 with 57 honorable mentions. What is an honorable mention? An honorable mention is a knife where you couldn't decide which one, so you have to put in an honorable mention. That's basically what an honorable mention is. It's that you couldn't choose. So you gotta add one of those in. But no. Shout out to Transparent Knives for sticking with his guns and doing what's right. I know it's not easy. And shout out to everybody who donated because it's for a great cause. And I do thank you guys for everybody who's participating and helping him with that. It's very important. It's more important than anybody realizes because these companies can't bully the small guys. Like, that's not right. That's not right. They should not be trying to silence them from being critical, whether it's from their own opinion or critical with facts. I don't care. Like, they should take it with open arms. And I guess I never knew he was like that. I know I had heard rumors in the back, like back in the day, that he was kind of a bully and stuff. But this really showed me like it's on another level. I wouldn't expect any company to do that. Now, I will say I ran into something like this. I don't want to say the person's name, but I have a couple of their knives, and since this issue, I have not shown their knife on this channel, because of they weren't threatening me; they were threatening one of my friends. I had sent a knife to a friend to check out. They didn't say much bad. They just said it wasn't for them, and this person threatened to sue them and all kinds of shit, and like was taking it to a whole nother level. And I thought about outing him and just saying what happened between us, because since then he tried to make up lies about me and all kinds of shit. And and the person that he tried to lie to came to me and told me what he was saying. And I knew what he was saying was true because of the conversation me and the guy had. Nobody else would know we had the conversation. And he completely manipulated the whole conversation we had and just lied about everything. And right then I was like, you know what? Fuck this guy. I'm not gonna show his knives no more. Like, I'm just not even gonna say his name anymore. So there's some shitheads in the community for sure. But majority of them are badass. Majority of the people, the knife makers, the community, are all great, great people. So I don't know how many of you guys are going to Blade Show, but if you guys are going to Blade Show and you guys are wanting to link up, hang out, at least say what's up or anything, the little problem is, which is not a problem, but a lot of you guys, I don't know your faces, right? I might know some names, but I don't know the faces. I know a lot of you guys' faces, but then a lot of you guys I don't. So the only way I'm going to know who you guys are is if you tell me when you meet, when I see you, or if you send me a picture, right? Before we go. You know, like a lot of you guys I do know, like Chris. I know what Chris looks like. You know, I know a lot of you guys, but there's a lot of you guys I don't. So I'm gonna, and this is just me probably thinking this, but I'm gonna feel bad if I have to when I meet somebody and then they have to tell me who they are. Not that like I should know what, I should just automatically know what you guys look like, but you kind of feel bad because you communicate with people for so long. What's up, Ed? Hey, I got that package, Ed. Thank you for the 5 bones. Yes, and yes, definitely. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate it. Very interesting. Definitely unique for sure. So Ed sent me a package. I'm gonna do the first impressions probably tomorrow or the next day, but it's unique for sure. Let's just say it's unique. You guys will definitely find it interesting. There's Shane. What's up, bud? I will be at Blade Show come hell or high water. That's awesome, man. I can't wait to meet you, man. It sucks what's going on with you. I hope all your doctor's appointments go well after this. Shane just finally got home from the hospital from all his issues. So let's pray for him. Hopefully everything works out. And I will definitely be seeing him at Blade Show. 25 likes to 105 watching. Come on, people, hit that like button. Yes, please. I do. And first of all, before I say hit the like button, thank you to everybody who is joining us tonight. I do appreciate you guys coming and hanging out, and shooting the shit and hanging out with me. And I do appreciate if you guys hit the like button. It does help me in the algorithm. Also, shout out to all the Bang Gang Squad members. We are almost to 100 members. We're at like 97 members. That's amazing. Amazing. And also shout out to all the patron members. Outdoor Craftsman is going to Blade. Yeah, if you're going to Blade, everybody just raise your hand if you're going to Blade show. Shit. I just have everyone wear a name tag with their YouTube names. There you go. Yeah, just tell everybody should just wear a name tag. That'd be even better, because then you can pretend you know them. Like, oh, hey, Scott. Even though you can see his name right there. How you doing, man? Hey, these knives, how's it going? I was thinking about buying that Reich 1707, but I saw that the Riet EXO was coming back in stock, and I had to make a choice. Hey, man, I get it. Shit happens. I think the EXO, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's coming back in fat carbon fiber, right? I think so. I'm not sure if the Micarta ones are coming back as well. They probably are. I know at Blade Show, they're probably going to have a whole table full of them. I thought about grabbing one. Zachariah with the 5 bones. Kubi Momentum on Chicago Knife Works. Only $32. Wow. Don't pass that up, guys. He's talking about right here. This knife right here. $32. That is an insane deal. I was going to say the what it was, like $53 normally or something like that. That to me is a fire ass deal. So $32, that's crazy. That's a really good deal. Don't pass that up. You guys won't be disappointed with this one. It's such a good knife. So fidgety. I was surprised, but not really. It's fucking Lefty EDC. But I sent one to Lefty to check out, and I was surprised he wasn't more. It's weird, man. He's weird. He's got issues, man, because like you'll send him a knife, and one knife he'll be sitting there bitching that it's not fall shutty enough, right? And it'll be damn near fall shutty, right? Like on the verge of being a guillotine. He'll be like, man, I wish it was just a little bit more. Then he'll open up a knife that is a straight, like just fall shut action. And you're like, it's okay. It's like, what? I thought you'd love this damn thing. It's so damn smooth. And the thumb studs are just in the right place. And also, it's got a reversible clip for him, but the thumb studs are just in the right spot. Great knife for a lefty. The front flipper is perfection. Like I can do all the tricks. This is my right hand, guys. I'm doing this all with my left hand right now. This thing is crazy good. And not only that, though, not even just like the fidget factor, the use. It's shaped in a way that's great for EDC. It's like facing at everything you're cutting. Like if I'm going to break down cardboard, the whole edge is facing at what I'm cutting. If I'm doing utility cuts, the tip is facing it. If I'm going to pop a strap and go towards me, it's going to trap it, which I love that. I love a knife that'll trap material without having a recurve. There's something beautiful about a knife that can do that, whether it's pushing or pulling. I know today, you guys, if you guys seen that video on this dagger, the Adamante Samson, this thing is really good, like really, really good. I'm not a dagger fan. I'm just not, because of the geometry. I like the shape. I just don't like the geometry. What's up, Sergeant? Salute to Knife Sergeant. Definitely go and follow his channel. But the flipper tab is just so comfortable. I love these rounded flipper tabs like this, especially when the detent is tuned right. It's so easy to snap this thing. Like as soon as you break that detent, it's going to fly. And like I said, it's just so comfortable. And then you can also put a lot of effort into it by doing push buttons or light switches. But also for a dagger, this thing is like not fall shut, but it is very drop shutty. Damn near fall shut action. And if you're going to do that quick pull out of your pocket, like I did in the video, this has been the easiest one I've ever felt. I have never felt one as easy as this, because it's not sharp. Like it doesn't use a hook, but this round, like I said, this flipper tab is just so comfortable. So it's easy to grip. with your pants without tearing them, without hurting them. Like I could deploy this 100 times and it'll never rip the corner of my pants. So that's a good thing, but just because it's so smooth. Now the clip is a little tight on the G10, so that that's a little. It's not a deal breaker though. It's still good. Um, Amazon will take a month to get it, but worth the wait. I'm not sure what you guys are talking about. She-Ball needs an. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh man, I should have linked them. We got the Neevesknives sweater in. I got a couple t-shirts in too, so that's badass. Let me take this off. Yeah, I thought about making it a little bigger, but I like it right there in the center of the chest. It looks good. Not too big, not too small. We got a couple other ones too. Like I said, guys, I don't have too much written down here, but I do want to talk about, and I actually got this from Brian over at Transparent Knives. He did a little video talking about companies and their heat treats and like the best company, right? And I can't agree with him more. And I keep yelling this too. I've been saying this for, I don't know, a year or so, maybe even longer, that if you're going to get a knife, right? And you want to experience a good heat treat. Like that's the important thing. Like you've tried a bunch of knives and you're like, you know what? I actually want to taste a good heat treat, right? It's kind of like cakes, right? You can have all the cakes in the world, but there's good cakes and there's bad cakes. Like cupcakes, like eating cake. There's shit dry cake that just like you take a bite and you're like, I don't even like this shit. Then there's that super moist cake that grandma cooked that's, home cooking cake or cupcakes. If you want some of that good, tasty, heat treated steel, Spyderco. Spyderco is the way to go. They do phenomenal heat treats. And I talk about it all the time, but you can't go wrong with their steel. They use so many different steels that they also have every flavor. So you have any type of flavor you want from them, and they're all done well at an HRC we want that's optimal for that steel. And salute to them. Like I give them a round of applause because no other company is doing that. There's no other company running that many steels all at once at optimal ranges. Put it this way, and this is what Brian said. So, like, that's where I got it from. There's companies only using one steel. One steel. That's it, just one steel. And they're not even running it to the optimal range that it can be ran at. Yet a company that's doing 30 steels, I don't know how many they're doing, but a lot of steels is beating them in the only steel that they use. That's badass. So, I mean, that's why, like, as much shit as people give Spyderco for their exclusives, for this, for that, they are a company we need. Like, I think that's amazing that they do that. They do the exotic steels and they run them exactly where we want them, and they just perform. They perform so good. And like I said, you don't see that from other companies. Other companies might be doing it okay, right? Like even if they're doing it pretty good, Spyderco is doing it better. And that's crazy that there's companies only using one or two steels, yet they still can't compare to a company that's doing 20 different steels. Medford is selling a tiny flipper with 2-inch D2 steel for $425 bucks. Yeah, he does CPM D2, which is a powdered version of D2. That D2 is going to be a little bit better than other D2. Like, just like we were just talking, like, you can't just say the steel, right? You have to put into consideration who's doing it, the heat treat. And I know sometimes that's hard to fathom from somebody's mind if they really don't understand the heat treating process and the HRC. You can have one company that's using M390, right? And then another company that's using M390. This M390 is similar to S35VN. Then this company, the M390, is like M390 at its optimal range. Good heat treat, good HRC, and it's performing. So this other company, you're not even going to notice the difference between its steel and its S30V or S35VN whatsoever. You're not going to notice the difference at all. But with this company, you will, because they're doing it right. They're doing it well. And Spyderco's the one. Spyderco's the one that you can damn near you can guarantee pretty much that if you get a knife from them in whatever steel it is, that they're doing it very well. I have yet in 2 years, to have felt a Spyderco that wasn't running their steel well for whatever knife it was. And I've sharpened a fuck ton of them. I did a Techno 2 the other day, the CTS XHP, and I did it to a very high mirror polish. Now, it didn't get as sticky as I like to take my CTS XHP to. Oh, you know what? I got Techno 2 right here. Let me just grab it. It was a different Techno 2, but here's a Techno 2, Spyderco Techno 2. So I sharpened up somebody else's and sharpened up good. Steel felt great. Nothing wrong with the steel. But the high polish I put on it didn't get as sticky as CTS XHP from Spyderco usually does. But it had nothing to do with the heat treat or the steel. It had to do with the geometry. These things are little thick fuckers. Like, they're really thick. A little too thick for the size of knife it is, but they're still great little knives. Like, don't get me wrong. However, the thing is that when I sharpened it, I did lay back the angle a little bit, but it was thick. So the edge bevel looks bigger than it should because, even with the angle it was at. So I would have wanted to lay it back a little bit farther, but I didn't want the edge bevel to look any larger, if that makes sense. Don't get me wrong. It was ridiculously sharp, just not a lot of bite, like, say, other XHP from Spyderco, like, say, this one right here. This thing has so much bite, but I could have lowered the grit down, but it's just, when I've already got that beautiful mirror polished edge on, it's like, why take it, down at grit? It's fine. I mean, it's ridiculously sharp. It just doesn't have that high level of bite that I would have wanted. What's a good secondary market to buy knives? Instagram. I just did a knife sale. That's one. So knife sales and Instagram. Other than that, like, I would say, like, eBay. I've had good luck on eBay. So eBay is not a bad one. I know people get in Facebook groups and everything, on Facebook, but I don't really do anything on Facebook. So even though I know a lot of people that do, I wouldn't recommend it personally because I don't do it. But Instagram's great though. You can probably find something if you just type in like hashtag NAF sale instead of IFE, just AF, KNAF sale. You'll probably find a knife sale. Yeah, groups on Facebook. See Knife Sergeant. I don't go on there, so that's what I mean. Like, so it's hard for me to recommend. K Mason saying Discord, Knife Swap, Reddit. I've had good luck on eBay, so I love me a good Spyderco too. You can't deny, man, how good they are, even though they might not be doing like the titanium. They have titanium frame locks and stuff, so don't get me wrong, but the majority of the knives that are going to be obtainable, that are affordable, are going to be G10, but they're going to have a good quality steel with a good heat treat. Like, you can get the Crewwear PM2 right now. I actually linked one in the video yesterday. You can get S45. Oh, I found one yesterday. The S45 for $130. A PM2, brand new, $130. That's crazy. Should have just bought it. Hey, Scotty with the 5 bones. Spyderco steel rocks. Even the CTS, BD1, and all their steel. They are doing all their steel very well. Like, not even just good, but great. Especially when you compare it to other companies. Now, let's talk about what company is doing the best factory edges. Okay. Now, when I say who's doing this, let me explain, because it's Spyderco. It's Spyderco. Spyderco's doing the best edges. Now, let me explain. Because what is the problem with factory edges, right? There's two things. Two things are the worst parts about factory edges. Burnt edges, which are not as problematic as we might make it seem, 40% maybe, or have burnt edges, give or take, right? But in my opinion, the biggest problem with factory edges is the angle. A lot of them are sharpened at like 30 degrees per side, 20 degrees or 25 degrees per side. Spyderco sharpens their edges at a good angle. However, yes, their edge bevels are all over the place. As long as it's a good angle, to me, I don't give a fuck. Like yeah, when you go to resharpen it, yeah, your edge might not look perfect on all their knives. It might be a little smaller at the tip on one side, or you might have a little wave here and there. But if that heat treat's good and, I can get that sticky, nasty sharpness, I don't give a fuck about like looking for one side and it's a little tiny bit smaller than the other side at one little part of the edge. I don't care about that. But yes, their factory edges are great. They're just not perfect, meaning like from one side to the other. But their edge angles, they're like 15 degrees per side with like a 22 degree micro bevel. But 15 degrees per side, what other company is doing a 15-degree edge bevel on their knives? That's amazing. Now, I'm not saying they're doing that on all their knives, but on a lot of them they are. And that's awesome. So that's why I say their edges are probably the best out of factory knives or factory edges, because the highest level of sharpness I've ever gotten from a factory was from a Spyderco. The highest level of performance of a knife just lasting as long as it did was from a Spyderco. So now there are other companies doing an okay job, like Tucson. Tucson does an okay job. They don't have the best. I'm not saying they do like the low angle or anything, but their level of sharpness is really good for the angle they're doing. Civivi, they were doing really good, but it seems like recently they've been polishing their edges just a little bit too much. I don't know if the person who was sharpening them switched. I started using 15 polished at 2600 grit micro bevel. Yeah, so 15 degree polished edge with a 20 degree 600 grit micro bevel. Nice. Yeah, the micro bevel, if you're gonna do a super low angle, it's not bad to do a micro bevel. You're basically just toughening up the edge. And if you do experience microchipping, regularly. Now, I wouldn't say just automatically do it if it's like the first edge and you're experiencing microchipping. But if like you use your knives when you sharpen at 15 degrees per side, you regularly get microchipping. Yeah, just always do a micro bevel on them, and then your edges it'll increase the toughness while also keeping the cutting performance. Because that low of an angle, your cutting performance increases massively. Even the level of sharpness. Josh with the 10 bones. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Much love and good vibes, my friend, to help with whatever needs help with. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that, man. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, 15 degrees per side is like the difference between sharpness. If you take the same exact knife, same geometry, same everything, same steel, same everything, and you do a 22 degree edge bevel, and then you do a 15 on that other knife, the level of sharpness is going to be like times 5, times 10. It's so much sharper, so much more bite, the cutting performance, just everything. Even the edge retention goes up. Now, it's going to be not fragile, but more fragile compared to the 22. Not necessarily fragile. I'm still trying to learn which edge is sharp. Neither side cuts anything on my knives. Quit cutting with the spine, Breeze. Sharpen your shit. Yeah, man, you got to keep them sharp. Got to keep them maintained. Got to keep them sharp. I know. Now that I think about it, like some of my old edges before I was like sharpening, before I was really sharpening, because I thought I was sharpening before, but now knowing, yeah, like even this knife, I haven't touched it up. But remember, I bought this knife back. I got it here for the story. I see what edge I had on this, and yeah, not that great. What's up, baby?
Do you need more coffee?
Please. You gonna pour it in or?
Yeah, I'm pouring. Do you want my cup?
Yeah.
Let me just take a sip. Go ahead. I'll figure this out in a second.
Thank
Hello,
you.
everybody.
The wife's coming in here taking good care of me. I get 15 degrees per side on my puller. Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do. I'd like to see that, you know. I'd love to see that, you know. I'd love to see that video. You got a YouTube channel. Show us. Let's see that in action. Luke Cole with the 5 bones.
How come yours did that and mine didn't?
I don't know. I was going to ask you that. Thank you for the 5 bones. I got a question. Do you know about some shirts I got in the mail? Yes, I do. I do. It was. I'll contact me after, man. Yeah, I do. I do. I'll talk to you after this. It was supposed to get stopped, and it didn't. Obviously. Your address was still in an order, so we ordered some stuff, and your address was put in. I'll pay you to ship it back to me. I'm sorry about that, but I'll talk to you after this. Thank you for letting me know. I was wondering if that happened. We stopped it and we switched the address, but obviously they're fucking idiots. All right, baby. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Bye.
You're the best.
I know.
Howdy. What's up, bud? I want to try that on my KME. Try what? 15 degrees per side with a micro bevel? You can do it easily. Or just try 15 degrees per side. See how that does. I get 2 degrees per side with a ceramic coffee mug. There you go. 2 degree micro bevel. Bang, bang. There are you're talking about actual 2 degrees? Yeah, I bet you do. There are 2 kinds of quenches, whole blade and edge only. Yeah, I've seen a lot of different. What are you doing?
Did you see that?
No, I didn't. Oh shit! Denise, thank you, man. Thank you for the 2 crackers. Shout out to the Bang Gang squad. I appreciate it, man. I'm sorry I missed that. Sorry about that. Luckily, I got people helping out. I appreciate it, Chris. Micro bevel prevents chipping and rolling, not 100%, but close. Yeah, it's that's what it's for. It's just to help prevent chipping, rolling, just to make your edge a little tougher, you know. Especially if you have a very low angle and because the lower the angle, right, the thinner your apex is going to be and the more fragile it's going to be. So putting a micro bevel on it makes it a little bit thicker while also keeping that same edge angle. So your edge angle is still really refined. Instead of being like this, it's like this. Then right at the tip of your apex, it's cut off like that. And it just toughens it up, stops it from rolling, while you still also, once you get over that micro bevel, you still have that nice fine edge angle. So I felt some that you damn near couldn't tell the difference, like between having the micro bevel and not having the micro bevel. So I used to not be a big fan of micro bevels until like I really started doing them on purpose and like getting into them. And then I was like, man, I kind of like micro bevels sometimes. I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes. Especially what I like to do is after I've sharpened my knife, and I got a nice clean apex, and say it's been a couple weeks, right? And I really want to I don't want to resharpen my edge. So, and my edge is a little bit, meh. So what I'll do is I'll throw a quick micro bevel on there, and now my edge is back going again. Great. And I've knocked off all the little tiny micro chips. But then sometimes, even like if I really have a really fine edge and it's really thin, I'll throw a micro bevel on there. It works great. Depends on, well, some steel. See, this is where, yeah, of course, yeah, you're right, Theo. Every steel has different qualities, so you're gonna have some steel that is. So when I say this word, I'm not saying the steel is chippy. Some people take your words and they run with them. I'm not saying the steel is chippy, but when a steel has the ability to be chippy versus a steel that's really not, then that might be a steel you might want to do it on, right? Not saying it's a chippy steel, just saying it has the potential to chip if it's, if it's a really low angle, if it's really thin, and you're tough on it. Because you are a huge factor too in what you're cutting. Sorry, not just you, but what you're cutting. Need micro bevel when sharpening a chisel. You don't need one, but yeah, you can do one. See what I like to do when I do my chisels. I will do the micro bevel on the other side to knock the burr off. So technically, that's a micro bevel, but I'm just trying to remove. I'm just removing the burr, which creates a micro bevel. So yeah, and it works great. What do you think is the best online store for buying knives? My Amazon links. My Amazon affiliate links, of course. No, to be honest, there's all kinds of knife dealers. They're all great. White Mountain Knives is really good. That's probably my favorite. Um, there's a couple others out there that are pretty good, but I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and talk shit. So they're all pretty good. There's a couple that aren't the best, but for the most part, they're all really good. All the main ones, but Smoky Mountain Knife Works is really good. I do have a 10% discount code with them, by the way. I don't make anything off of it, but you guys get a discount, which is cool. I tried to get that from Blade HQ. They didn't do it though. Tried to do it to Knife Center too. They wouldn't do it either. But what else is there? There's Chicago Knife Works. There's Atlantic Knives. There's GP Knives. There's what else is there? There's a bunch of other ones too. Shane says, I put a 15-degree on my S30V Manix XL and it got a little chippy. Put a 20-degree micro bevel on it and it was perfect. Right. And that's a great example because 15 degrees is, that's what the Manix comes with anyways, right? So 15-degree bevel, and then what do? They do that exact thing right there. Exactly what you did. That's what Spyderco does. So yeah, perfect. And S30V, it's not that it's inherently chippy. It's going to chip easier than S35, right? It's going to chip easier than S35VM, but that doesn't mean it's a chippy steel. It's just, when you get it at certain angles and it's super thin and you're cutting certain things, yeah, of course. And that a lot of steels can do that. But some are just, they do it more than others. 85 degrees. That's how I do it. He likes them a real high, just a blunt edge. Just cut it off at the edge. Here's the angle right here. Did I bring something over here? Yeah. I don't want to do it with this knife. Here's the angle right here. Just straight back and forth. Just like that. Perfect. Yeah, Smoky Mountain's great. Blade HQ only for exclusives. Yeah, I don't know. I like Blade HQ and then I don't. I buy knives from them, so like I don't have a problem buying knives from them. Um I've had other issues, but I still buy knives from them. But I try to spend my money as much as possible. I'm not saying I won't spend my money at the other knife places, but I try to spend my money at the places that support the channel the most, or a little friendly or whatever. Not saying that they're not. I just never dealt with them. Like I've tried to, but I never have. So I actually speak with the guys over at Smoky, so and they're great. They're awesome. Knife Joy, yep, Knife Joy's another one. DLT is your main. Back to work, Knife Nut. All right, man. Have a good day or have a good night. Be safe out there. Well, I didn't have anything else written down, so we're just winging it from here, guys. So let's wing it. I bought a Terminus from Blade HQ a while ago, and it came with skinny clip, even though it wasn't in the picture. Huh. I wonder if that would have been better, because that was one of my complaints about that knife was the clip, but that was from the original one, and because it said SOG across it, and I hate that. I hate that shit. Like I just don't get it. Like if you were like I don't know, Chris Reeve knives, which they don't do that, but like if you were like somebody like to where you feel good about it, but at the time SOG didn't have a great reputation. Yes, they started doing a lot better and everything else, but it's not like people were proud to run around with SOG hanging out of their pockets, especially at the time. So I did not want, like, it kept it out of my pocket. But I'm not talking shit. They did a great job. They've redone their shit. The Terminus is a great example of that. But before that, I'm saying before they, redid everything, because the Terminus is great. They have a bunch of knives that are great. Well, probably all their knives now.
What was in there?
No.
Can I put some coffee? You think it's okay?
Yeah. What's your deal?
I just want a little sweet. Wait, I don't want the booger coffee.
Take that one. Is there a lot of types of micarta depending on what material? There are lots of different kinds of micarta. Most of it's made out of cloth, but there's different types of cloth, right? So as many different types of cloth there's different types of micarta. Then there's paper. So there's paper micarta, linen. There's so many different kinds of micarta. Then there's different cuts of it, like cross cut, side cut, regular cut. Then there's polished, non-polished. There's more fibrous. There's so many different kinds. So there's different qualities too. Yeah. I didn't. No. You want to tell them? You want to show them?
No, you don't care.
Well, I didn't have you here to show. I didn't have you here. I didn't have you
Fine.
here.
Fine.
Baby, show them.
I'm fine.
Show them.
It's fine.
Kara got her name.
Don't tell him now.
Hey, Chris. Chris has been a member for 4 months. Jared, can you please draw a micro bevel? Some folks are asking. 3 months. Woo, woo. Yes, I can. Absolutely. We will do that. Yes, a micro bevel goes like this. Let me get a marker. So here is an edge, right? That is your edge bevel. The tip is your apex. A micro bevel will basically be like me knocking off the tip just like that and putting a new tip there. So let me just redraw this. So picture the dark purple part I removed. So this would be your new tip. So it'd be like you creating the same thing you have here, the same thing you have as an edge, just at the tip. So you have another edge at the tip. I'll just do it again really quick. That looks like shit. Let me grab this other marker. This marker's not working too good. Oh, this one's working so much better. So it's like doing that to the tip. So the difference is instead of me peeking it out right here like this, I'm going to cut it off like that with my stone so that it makes it a higher angle, because and here's a good way to put it. I can actually show you very easily right here. So say if I sharpen my knife and I sharpen it at this angle, right, which is a low angle. Say if I sharpen my knife and I sharpen it at this angle, I have that edge bevel, which is say 15 degrees per side. So my edge bevel is going to be really big because it's a low angle. The lower the angle, the bigger the edge bevel. The edge bevel meaning, what your edge looks like on the knife. So afterwards, when I'm done, right, I have my edge bevel, looks really good. Now I'm going to finish it off with a higher angle. So I've sharpened it. Come on, focus. I've sharpened it at this angle. Now at the end, I'm going to raise it up and I'm going to do a couple passes at a high angle to create a high angle at the very, very, very tip of the apex in order to make it tougher, because the apex is so thin, it's fragile. So what'll happen is by cutting it off and creating another V right at the very apex of the tip of the edge, it makes it to where now it's not as fine and petite and fragile. Hopefully that explained it well. Why don't you just come in here? Huh? I knew I was doing something right at 85 degrees. That's hilarious. That is so funny. So guys, I'm thinking about doing I know this is like out of the realm of knives, but I do other videos like EDC stuff. You guys know I have my boot video coming up. I have actually a couple of boot videos coming up. I got a couple shoe/boot videos coming up. So I got some USA made boot videos coming up. I got a couple of those, and then I'm going to put together like a top 5 boots, shoes that every guy should have. But I also have a couple other different videos, right? Like I said, I got the one coming up right here that's going on the wall right there. That's more of a sponsored video, but anyways, I wanted to put together like an EDC cologne video, right? Because you guys don't know this, but I've always gotten into like colognes and things like that, and smelling good and smelling fresh and shit. And I've tried a lot of different brands and things like that. So I thought about putting together like just a quick fast 5 of some really good colognes and like ways to carry them, or like not affordable ones, but ways to get good quality ones affordably. And just like, I don't know, like an EDC cologne video, some smell good shit. I'm definitely gonna do it, but video coming soon. Hopefully you guys will watch it. Might be interesting. I'll make sure it's nice and quick, but maybe give you guys a different perspective on on how to think about it, because I think so many people just think about it, like they smell it, without really thinking too much into it. But I don't know. Maybe I guess people do think more into it than I think, but you should always smell good, right? You want to smell good. Nobody wants to smell a stinky fucker. And any one of you guys right now, let me just be clear about this. The guy in the chat right now that's thinking that's a dumb idea. Like who gives a fuck about cologne? You're the stinky guy. You're the guy who stinks. So just realize that. And now that we know that, don't tell it. Don't say it in the chat. Don't say it in the chat. Everybody will know. So just keep it to yourself. And we'll work on that in the video. But I think everybody wants to smell good, especially, we like to smell good for the ladies. The ladies like to smell good for us. It can help you get job positions. It can help you just every which way, it's like if two guys walked in to get the same job, one guy stinks, one guy smells good, who's getting the job? Probably not the stinky fucker, right? And then just like even like I said, asking a girl out on a date, or even possibly the person you're dating, you don't want them to have to put up with you being a stinky fucker. Not saying you necessarily stink, but you should also change your fragrance up every once in a while. Be a little spontaneous, right? You don't want to smell like the same thing for 10 fucking years. Smell good so that when people are around you, they're happy to be around you, right? People kind of flock to you a little bit more. You smell good, you're pleasant to be around. So I'm going to put together a little video, and yeah, that one might be in the video. See, the one problem I have with that one, which I like that one. I like that one. On a I'll save it for the video. I'll save it for the video. But no, that's a good one. That's a good one for sure. Can't shower, driving. We found the stinky guy. Armani Code. Yeah, Armani Code. Yes, Armani Code's a good one. I got that stuff. What is it? There's different ones. That one is a powdery, creamy. It's got a creamy, powdery wood smell. That's the way that one is, the Armani Code. So the first thing you get is like a powdery, creamy smell, but then the back end of it is a suede, woodsy smell. So I think with that one, the initial spray is a little too. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I think it's really good for winter and winter, fall, those type of weathers. But if you can get it on the back end of it, like after spraying it, like an hour later, it winds up turning into like a suede, like I said, a woodsy smell. And I really like the back end of that one. So that one does do really good with the ladies, especially like I said, in the winter conditions. See, I see all you guys like this video is going to be great. Fuck yeah. See, I got a lot of cologne lovers in here. Don't do that to him, baby. Yeah, get rid of the Axe spray. Get rid of the Axe spray. That's for high school. That's for high school. Get some real smells. Now, you don't even have to spend that much. And maybe in this video, I'll teach you guys how to do it. But for the guys who don't, but you can go on, or I'll just talk about it right now. Fuck it. You can go on sites. You can get a $400 bottle of cologne, right? That you're not going to get the $400 bottle of cologne, but you can get the little sample size, right? The little EDC-able, spray for a few dollars. So you have the opportunity to get that really expensive stuff. Now, just because it's expensive doesn't mean it smells good. In fact, in many cases, the really expensive stuff is more, what's the word? Boutique. It's more for people that are really, really into like the colognes. So it doesn't necessarily smell really good. There's some really expensive colognes that smell like shit. And then there's some really cheap colognes that smell phenomenal. There's different levels of quality too, like where one's going to be more oils, one's going to be watered down. But getting a good cologne, you can get the samples. So you can test out 5 different ones for like, $15 or something like that, and figure out which one you like the most and then buy that bottle. Um, and then there's also one way to really know is to know what kind of smells you like. So this is the big way to figure out, right? So you go and, well, one, if you already know, like say, if you like the shower gel, the really clean, fresh smelling colognes, like I really like that stuff. I'm really into that. Because saying like that, it's like the shower gel kind or the soapy kind. That's not a bad thing. It's just it's a clean smelling. Those are the blues. So if you can find colognes that say blue, like that's the blue kind. Those are more like the more fresher kind. Now, if you like the more woodsier kind, right? Like there's different flavors, and if you know what type of flavor matches you the best, then you know what kind of colognes to stay away from and what kinds to look into. Because you could look up a cologne video and they'll do a great review on it and tell you the best shit in the world. Then you'll get it and you'll be like, holy shit, this smells disgusting. It's not your style. It's not for you, right? The person smelling it really is talking about the notes that they're smelling, and they really like those notes. So you got to understand the type of notes that are in it. Whether you like the really fruity smells, the woodsy smells, the leather smells, the spice smells. Smell is subjective. Yes. What's up, baby? Where? Nice, nice. Well, that's awesome. We can sit here and chit chat about it. Yeah, no, there. I agree, Kyle. I like. I actually got a new bottle. I got. Let me just grab it really quick. I have this one right now, the original, but I got the black one on the way. This stuff is really good. This is like Kyle said. Um, This is really fresh, really good for a really clean smell, really fresh smell. The ladies like it. Um, just a really good smell. It is expensive though; it's not cheap. But like I said, you can get expensive. Like this is like $100, something like that, maybe give or take. But 90 to 120, something like that. But you can get the little spray bottles um, for a few dollars, and they'll last you a good little while. And you can get like little things like this. Check this out. Like you can get the little sampler like this for like $2, and then you'll know if you like it or not. Then pick it. Now, when you get ones like this, don't just pop the cap and start sniffing. Right? You got to put it on your skin. Get a little bit on your skin, let it settle, and then smell it. Because just going like this, it's too much. It's not on your skin because the way it hits your pheromones is going to be different than it just in the bottle. It'll smell completely different once it hits your pheromones. So I actually try it on. That one, sorry, this one that I was just trying right here. This one's the El Home by Prada. You guys probably can't see it. It's a good one though. That's a good one. But I'm going to do a whole video on the subject, and hopefully you guys will like it.
Damn it, I can't find
Hopefully
it.
there's no people who don't shower and just cover up their mustiness with cologne until it becomes untreatable. No, that's definitely not a good thing because, and we'll explain why that's a bad thing. What's up, baby? What's wrong?
I can't find the fucking comment now, but somebody was like, welcome to today's episode of Neevesknives. You need to start a fragrance channel and call it that.
It needs nose?
Yes!
I like it.
How
like
could
it.
you not?
I don't know. I don't know why I haven't yet. So there's a lot
so
of fragrance
smart
channels
you
out there.
said that.
So you don't want to do that because the cologne mixed with more pheromone, more cologne, like you want to be fresh, just like your clothes. You like everybody can smell a dirty fucker who just put cologne on. that doesn't smell good, because colognes, fuck, I just ran over my toe. Colognes, like on clothing, put it this way, it lasts longer on clothing, by the way. So spraying it on your clothes, it will last longer on fabric than it will on skin. You drop skin and things like that, it absorbs into your pores, blah 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 blah. But you don't want to cover up stinkiness, because that just, it changes the smell of the cologne, and it adds pheromones into it that aren't supposed to be there, when it's supposed to be like your natural pheromones, not your natural stinky shit from sweating for 2 days or whatever in the same clothes. And so yeah, put it on nice, fresh out the shower, clean yourself often. And I do have a sponsor coming soon for cleaning your guys' selves. My favorites are, oh man, I suck at French, so I'm not even gonna pretend. But Dialome, light blue intense Nautica. Oh yeah, the Nautica Voyage. Yeah, I got a bottle of that. Yeah, I love Nautica Voyage. That was my shit back in the day. So what happened was everybody's nose changes over time, just like your taste buds change every 7 years. So every 7 years, since your taste buds change, your smell and what you. That's also why, I don't mean to just switch subjects right there, but the reason why an old man, likes a certain type of cologne, and a young man likes a certain type of cologne, and they're 100% opposites, but they both know what that smells like. Like a young man can smell an old man's cologne and be like, it smells like an old man, right? And an old man can do the same thing with a young man, right? And the reason why is because their noses have completely changed, right? And just like the women that like that elderly man are not going to like the smells of the young man, right? They're going to want that more masculine smell from the older man. And it's two completely different things, because that woman's nose has also matured, and what she smells is a lot more mature than when she was 20 years old or 15 years old or whatever. So when I used to have the Nautic Voyage, and that was my shit for years. Like, I loved it. I had other stuff. Like I said to you guys before, you don't want to just have the same stuff. You want to spice it up a bit. But that was my most compliment cologne ever, was Nautica Voyage. It's cheap. It's affordable. At the time, it was like $60. Now it's like $30. You can get it cheap as fuck. But it's a really good one. Big complimenter. And you know how I found it? How I got it? I walked into a cologne store. I was probably like 20 years old, maybe 19 or 20. Anyways, I walked in, and there was 3 ladies behind the counter, and I asked every single one of them. I said, show me your favorite cologne on a guy. They work there, right? They should know. They all grabbed that one. And I said, cha-ching, like, that's the one, right? They all grabbed it. Of course I'm grabbing that one. So I bought that, and they were right. I loved it. And I got so many compliments. Then, like 2 years ago, I found some more, and I was going to get it, just because I hadn't had it in a couple years, right? I wore it for like 10 years, not straight, but I had it and wore it off and on for like 10 years. And went to smell it again and didn't smell the same. Now, maybe it was a bad bottle, maybe this, maybe that, but I did recently buy another bottle. I got it on the way, because I'm going to see, did my nose just change, or was that bottle just not that good? So we'll see. But I do like that stuff. I know it's really good stuff, regardless if my nose has changed for it. Is Maurice here? I didn't see him. Mix Nautica Voyage and Lacoste LeBlanc. It's amazing. Yeah, that's another thing. That's another little way for you to mix your own scent. But you got to have a nose for it. You got to know, how to do it, because certain smells go together really good, right? But also understanding notes and how they work together. Like, if you understand certain notes, and one way to really know how it works, or an easy way, right? An easy way in your head, you can go on certain sites, and it'll tell you the notes that are in the cologne. Like, here, let me just show you one really quick. Like, this is just a cheap little bottle. You can get these at Target. It's just a good fellow, but this shit smells fire. It's just a little pocket sprayer. You can keep them in your car. They smell fire. right? Cheap as shit. Damn, that smells good. But what's in this one, if I can catch it, is lime, smooth sage, and undertones of warm tonka, amber, and woods. So it's got a woody scent with some amber and tonka, and then the over scent. So you instantly get a little smell of lime with some sage, and then the undertone, like as it starts wearing down a little bit, you're gonna get that tonka, amber, and woods. But if you know what smells go good together, then you know, like I can spray this with a little bit of this, and then you almost get your own fragrance. But that's some that's when you're on some on another level of shit. When you get to that point. Otherwise, you probably should just stick to one scent that's been done very well and not spray 12 different kinds of colognes and try to come up with your own, because you'll probably smell like a whorehouse. I got too expensive at over $5 a gallon. Fucking speaking of that, man, holy shit, man, Uber's doubled their price overnight. Like literally, it was like overnight. Like the same ride that costed me $30, the next day costed me $60. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. A trick sat on my face and it smelled like banana cake. Yum. Aren't you happy you didn't smell like some other shit? Literally. $5.40 something a gallon here. I think, damn. Yeah, it's getting crazy. And that's why, the Uber prices are going up because of that because of the gas prices. I've never seen a straight man know so much about cologne. Well, that's not true. I would say that straight men should know, because straight men try to pick up ladies, right? Maybe you just don't know too many guys that have picked up fucking ladies, or that know how to pick up ladies, or know how to smell good, or things like that. Like I said, if you're hanging out with stinky fuckers, you know how to expose yourself by saying sentences like that. Because I've never met, or not met, I guess I've met a lot of guys, but usually the guys, like amongst a good set of guys like that go out, that hang out, that whether it's going to the club, going to the pool hall, or going out partying or whatever, right? They're gonna want to smell good. They're not gonna want to spray that shit that the girl across the bar fucking just like turns her nose at. You want to smell pleasant always. And to think like that's just some like, to me, I think of the opposite way, right? I think of the opposite way. Like that's like some I don't want to say the word, but that type of shit. Damn Skippy. Women have told me multiple times a great scent and a great sense of humor are super important. So important. It's so important. Like, I mean, like I said, just imagine the difference. Imagine you're the same guy, right? The same fucking guy. And you got a good sense of humor. You got a good head on your shoulders, right? But you don't smell that good. What do you think's better? You being the same guy, good sense of humor, good head on your shoulders, and you smell good? Of course. Of course, right? And you can go the same way with a lot of things. Even like how much effort you put into a lot of things, like whether you're getting dressed. Like, obviously, if you're on a job site, we're not talking about that. But like, if you were going to go out for the night and take a lady out, or go to ask a lady out to a place or something, how how well you upkeep yourself and get dressed and things like that. Like, that's important. But smelling good is very important because you could dress mediocre and smell good. Hey, Jared, did you get my message on Instagram? I'm not sure. I got to check them. I was starting to go through them a little bit before I came on here, but I'll try to get to them tonight. Whatever I don't get to tonight, I'll get to in the morning. But yeah, I'm a little backed up on there, but just give me till tomorrow morning if I don't see it tonight. Smelling good truly can't. Facts. That is so right. How it can't hurt, right? It can't hurt. And let me say this: there is the scent. Like, I want to call bullshit, but I know there is some truth to it, right? Nobody wants to smell like they just took a bath in cologne, right? That is true, but it's also bullshit. And let me say why. Because, of course, everybody's met the person that they get in the room with that always smells like the same smell and always smells like they took a bath in cologne, and it does start becoming obnoxious. But for the most part, nobody, like, if something smells good, it smells good, right? If it smells good, it smells good. It's not like somebody can jump in your car and they smell good and you're going to be like, oh, that smells so good. Oh, it's too much. That's usually not a thing. Usually if it smells good, it smells good. It's delightful to be around, right? You're not getting your eyes burned by it. It's just the smell. So as long as it smells good, it's okay. Now, if it smells like shit, that's another thing. But you'd rather it smell good than to jump in and then, smell like shit. And just like jumping into a car or into an area around people, you'd rather them, like when you walk up, right? When you walk up, you'd rather your presence come with a nice, delightful scent than to walk up and not have anything, because you remember that shit. Like I do. I think a lot of people do. Just like think about from the opposite way, right? A girl walks up to you, right? Beautiful girl. Beautiful girl walks up to you, and she walks up, nice looking hair, nice looking skin. She looks really good. And she walks up to you, and as she walks up to you, her scent goes right to your nose, and it's just beautiful. Smells like whatever you think is sexy. Of course, that's going to be more attractive than if she walked up and BO right in your face. Right? Of course. Kira, if you're the president of women, can you please make them less psycho? Not a cure, just dial them down a bit. That's all I'm asking. We're going to work on that, Kyle. We're going to work on that. When will that happen? Right, exactly. Yeah, if you have good pheromones, why would I cover it up with perfume? Well, pheromones is like there's one thing pheromones, but like good cologne like accentuates good pheromones, right? Like pheromones is something that a woman already has to be close to you to get. Because if you have pheromones that are coming off of you to the point to where they're smelling them 2 feet, 3 feet away from you, it's a stench. It's not a good thing. I'm telling you right now, it's not a fucking good thing. You might think so, but it's not. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't girls, like, say, if you just get off of work, right? You just get off of work and you have that nice construction smell on you. That's one thing, right? Of course. But it's not like it's a 24-hour thing. Like, of course, if you're at work, you're working really hard, you might smell like wood, lumber, sawdust, whatever. Of course, a girl's going to find that attractive. But in the same breath, if you fucking been sweating all day and stinking all day, that can wind up becoming obnoxious. That's not going to be the only smell she wants from you. She's not going to want to only smell your fucking BO from being on the job site all day. She's going to want to smell you fresh out of the shower with good cologne on you, or, smelling good. Yep, I get good pheromones. They always say you just smell good when they get that close. If you're into big girls, then chicken grease works. Michael, See, Michael knows what's up. Yes, yes. Oh, fuck yeah. And also, yeah, and saying that, it depends on what type of girls you're trying to attract, right? Depends on the girls you're trying to attract. Jared is fuck you. Sorry, guys. Jared is good at EDC, but Maurice is good at eating pussy. Bang bang. Lies. You're still smelly. Right. Lies. That's what I'm saying. I'm calling bullshit. I'm saying somebody just told you that to make you feel good. What? Yeah, it's from a shower. You don't smell good always. Nobody smells good always. I don't give a fuck who you are. I try though. I don't try not to. Like I shower, I keep myself clean, I put deodorant on, I try to. I don't just I don't sleep in my sweat for 3 days and work out and then not take a shower. I try to. We are. Lacey, what's up? Lacey's got me so damn jealous about this damn petrified sharpening stone. Guys, I'm out. Kids got court in the morning. Good luck to your kids. Good luck to your kid. Hopefully everything works out. I'm sure it will. And yeah, good luck. Good luck. After 22 years of marriage, I still try to smell good. Right, you should. You should. That's almost like the worst thing is to find somebody and then think that you got somebody, so now you shouldn't smell good. That's fucking horrible. You shouldn't do that. That's the worst. Because then it's like, I could say the potential of what could possibly happen in the long run, but what's up, baby?
Can you please tell your viewers what that Goodfellow scent was called again?
The what?
The Goodfellow one.
Oh. This one is Blue Sage and Tonka, number 1. Blue Sage and Tonka. These are really, really cheap. You can get them right at Target. But yeah, this one smells really good. It's got a nice clean scent. Not like a crazy masculine scent, but like a really clean, good scent. Like nobody would ever think it smells bad. And that's kind of the beauty of it. Because some of the really masculine smells, they do smell good, right? But they have a place. And the clean scents smell good everywhere all year round, if you know what I mean. Like it doesn't have to be a certain time of the season, doesn't have to be a certain occasion. You don't have to be in a suit. You don't have to be at certain places, or you know what I mean? Like it's just really clean. It smells good. So yeah. Anyways, got a magnet cut Thumb said Rockwall coming. Nice. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's badass. I'm kind of upset that I seen that on Instagram that Metal Complex got one of the same knives that I got. Kind of upset about it. But it's okay. How are you doing? How are you doing, Alpha? I'm doing pretty well. Thank you all. Lawyer said it will be dropped, but still worried. Everyone have a wonderful night. Yeah, it's always a nerve wrack because, and I'm not trying to, I don't know if you're still in here or not, Lacey, but, it always boils down to the judge. I've had lawyers say one thing, but you don't know. You don't know. I've had it go the opposite way. I've had to go the exact way they say. It depends on the judge and what's going on, but usually with cases like that, it's pretty easy for them to know what's going to happen. So I think everything will be all right. Just for anybody that doesn't know, I'll just say it really quick. It's not my business to say, but her son got arrested fishing. Somebody called the cops on him while he's fishing and made it seem like he was in like a private location where he wasn't allowed to be fishing or whatever. And it wasn't. It was actually like the side of the pond. And I could be butchering the story, but it was on like the side of the pond where he doesn't, it wasn't on nobody's property or anything like that. But he wound up getting arrested. And, he's like 13. So it's fucked up. It's fucked up that the cops spent that time of their day to arrest a kid for fishing. That pisses me off. It really does, guys, because the shit that I was doing at 13 and you're gonna arrest a kid that's being good fucking fishing. Like, to me, like, if I was a cop, man, I would want to give that kid a high five. You're not out knocking cars off, or you're not doing crazy shit. You're fishing, man. Like, to me, that should be a time where a cop praises a kid, not arrests him. I don't care if he was on the wrong property. I don't care if he was. I don't care if he was in the wrong. Like, that's a time for a kid to just get corrected. Hey, you're on a bed. You're not on the right property. You got to get off. Sorry, bud. Pack your stuff up. Get out of here. Not fucking arrest them. Like, that's crazy to me. A 13-year-old kid getting arrested for fishing. That's nuts to me. He's not tagging walls. He's not out robbing cars or stealing cars or hitting people over the head with baseball bats or knocking off, purse snatching or anything, or selling dope. He's fucking fishing. That's crazy. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. If MC is me, I already fucking got it. I'll probably snag a bear down the road, maybe break into the pouch game with it. It's a really good slip. Like, if you want to break into like the slippy spot, that, especially the modern slippies, that's a great way to go because it's super slicey. It's so well done. It's titanium, all modern materials, and yeah, it's a good one. I would actually recommend getting it with the pouch and the pen. I know it's a bit more expensive because the pen's like $100 and then the slip is 30 to 50 bucks or something. But man, that little, let me just grab it. This package right here is badass. You get the pen, titanium pen, the pouch, and the knife. And it fits so perfect. I wouldn't even want another pouch. This is such a perfect pouch. It's done very well. All USA made, even the pen, every bit of it. In magnet cut, nice milling. Micro milling. And this is such a thin blade. It is mega thin. Such a slicey blade. And it doesn't have a strong pull. I kind of like that, though. I like that I can just yoink right open. You don't have to struggle with it. You have a nice little grippy area right there, even though you don't even need it. Yeah, really good. I like it a lot. Really good quality. Titanium hardware. Just badass. And the pens are great, too, man. The pens write really good. I love the tacky feel to them. Right. That makes me mad too. That's what I'm saying. Like, it makes me so mad. The whole knife is stupid thin. Yes, that is so true. Look at this. Look at how thin this is. Actually, I'm going to show you. Let me grab another knife that's thin. Here we go. The TRM Shadow, right? Everybody knows TRMs are thin. Look at that. It is so thin. Come on. Come on. Super slim. And that's the beauty of it, it's just so light. Even if you only got the knife, you can just toss this right at the bottom of your pocket. It's rounded in all the right areas. It's not going to poke you or anything like that. It's really good. Have you ever seen the Kershaw Federal slip joint? It's kind of cool. Yes, I have. Yeah, it is pretty cool. I almost grabbed one just because I thought it was cool. It's in Micarta. Have you ever checked out the React EXO? Yeah, I got a video on it. I got a couple videos on it. You can watch my real gravity knife, mostly legal knife, and then I have another video on it. Andy, you're from Chicago. What do I have to know about blade length to avoid problems? Depends on where you're at. If you're in the downtown area, so I think it used to be like 2 inches, but then it went to 3 inches. Check now because I don't know if they changed things again. But if you're in the downtown area, from what I knew, it was 3 and under. So you had to have a knife with 3 inch blade length or under. But if you're outside the city, if you're not in downtown, it's higher than that. You can, like, I get away with just about anything, and I've been caught with by the cops with longer knives. They've never said anything. But you check your county, right? Because your county, depending on if you're in Cook County, if you're in Lake County, Grundy County, like figure out what county you're in. And check. But in Cook County, downtown, it was last year or like a couple months ago, it was 3 inches and under. But that was just for downtown in the city. So outside the city, outside of city limits. So not saying in Cook County, but just outside of city limits, I think it didn't really matter. It was just within the city limits. But double check. Now for OTFs and gravity knives and battle songs, you have to have a carrying permit. So you have to have your carrying license to carry an OTF over 2 inches or something like that. Hey, shout out to knife modders. Shout out to knife modders. Definitely get your knife modding done by knife modders, best modders in the business. And also follow their YouTube channel. They do a live every week. And we accidentally, we didn't, but somebody accidentally banned them on our lives. And we do apologize, but we got them back. We got them back in action. But definitely go and follow their channel. Awesome content. They also have a knife design coming. So that's going to be really badass. Can't wait to see that put into action. Karen must be, yes, she is. Yes, she is. I'm sure you can hear. Don't show them off and carry whatever you want wherever. No reason government should tell you that you can't have something to protect yourself. Restricted zones are unconstitutional. I agree. I 100% agree. And honestly, I've never had an issue. I've been arrested and they've given it back. I've been pulled over and had them fuck with me and take it away, like while they were fucking with me, but then they always just gave it back. But they never said anything about it. Like I never had them check it or anything. Like when they've asked me if I had any knives or weapons or anything, I say, yeah, I got a pocket knife, and they just take it and then they give it back when I leave. But yeah, I agree, man. You shouldn't care, but I'm not nobody's lawyer, so I'm not telling anybody what to do. I know what I do, and that's all I can stand by. But yeah, I agree. Maurice was created in Cook County. My light got taken off and somehow was at chicken grease cologne for some reason. Hate this phone. What the fuck? A modified Archbishop sounds sweet. I might have a modified Archbishop coming soon. I forgot to mail it out. I know Chris Cue Ball, he's got a badass modified one by Knife Modders. I might have a hollow grind coming on mine, along with the Spartan Harsey folder. But coming soon. After my rock wall, I'm going to have to go back to collecting Savivis. I know how that goes. I think Chicago may have a ridiculous 2.5. So I think that's what it used to be. Last time I read, it said under 3 inches. So under 3 inches just means not over 3 inches. But that was for downtown Like I said, just check. Don't quote me on anything. Just check. I always throw my knives in the center console or glove box and tell them where they are if asked, so I not conceal them. Yeah, I mean, it's a tool. If you're in a car, I think it's different. I don't think it matters so much if you're in a car, like if it's in your center console or glove box or trunk or anything like that. I think it's only like if you're carrying it on your person walking around, because you have to be able to transport them. So like if you bought them someplace, but I also don't know about that either. I personally, with me, man, I just don't give a fuck. Like if I get fucked by it, like I'll take my day in court. I really will. So, but that's me. Now, that's me speaking as a felon too. So, my day in court might not be as good as your guys's, but I'm willing to take it. Like I would just, I mean, I don't where I'm at, I'm not downtown, so I don't have to worry about that. And I've never really had an issue. And I think, as long as it's being used as a tool and you're not doing anything crazy with it. Now, obviously, if you ran into a situation where you had to get crazy with it, get a good lawyer. I think you'll be okay as long as it's self-defense. I had somebody in my comments the other day say, "Oh, if you had to use that for self-defense, it's going to be impossible, even if you were defending yourself." It's like, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. I knew a guy who stabbed up a couple people because he got jumped, and they all got thrown out. So, but I'm sure it does depend on the judge and the situation and everything. And that was a gangbanger. So, but yeah, he got attacked by a bunch of dudes. One wound up killing one of them. But he like you could see it was all on camera. So there was no hearsay, there was no nothing. You seen he got attacked straight up and he was fighting for his life. So the judge deemed it all self-defense. But it does depend on the judge and everything. So what was the felony for? I've spoke about it a bunch of times. Um, it was for a burglary. I feel the same way out here in Cali. It's it's a damn pocket knife. Yeah, I know. Same thing with a lot of places, man. That's why you can't vote your rights away, guys. Stop voting your fucking rights away. It's all your guys' fault. It's not mine. I'm not allowed to vote. And if I am allowed to vote, it's only been in the past year. So it's not my fault, it's your guys' fault. So stop voting your damn rights away. If anything, vote for rights. More rights, and that's it. Anytime even the little tiny things, like you don't realize the rippling effect of giving a small right away. Like I think it's crazy, like even with firearm things, like say capacity laws and things like that. That to me is just like infringement on your constitutional rights. And people are just like, okay, screw it. As long as we can have this, they just, it's like they're willing to give up an inch, an inch, an inch. It's like they never come for the full 10 feet. They're working on 10 feet, 1 inch at a time. So don't give up any. Story time. All right, I'll tell a story. All right, so I did bring this knife for a story time. I know I told it a long time ago. I can't remember if I told it recently or not, but I didn't write much down, so it was just a quick story. Grabbed the knife, so I figured I'd tell it. So, is it that time, anyways? Yes, it is. All right, so we're going into story time, guys. Firearms seem kind of dangerous. What if you burn yourself? Yeah, man. I can't stand anything that takes away anybody's right to do anything, even if I don't agree with it. Like, because to me, it's like, I don't have to do it. I don't give a fuck what you do. Do whatever the fuck you want. Like, I don't care. So that's how I look at everything. Like, don't worry about me. I won't worry about you. Anyways, so I was in a van. All right. So I'm driving in a van. I'm in a van. And I'm not such a good guy. Right. I'm not such a good guy. And in not such great neighborhoods. Right. I'm actually kind of in my own neighborhood at the time, but And I'm carrying things on me that probably aren't the best things to be carrying on you. You know, getting rid of things that probably aren't the best things to be getting rid of. And I was pulling down this alley and I had this knife and it was always there. Like I carried this knife for a long time, not like on my belt all the time, but I always just had it. Like I had it in my center console. Sometimes I carried it on my hip because around my property, I would carry it around my property. I had two houses and a pool, and like around my property, I'd carry it because I'd be cutting shit because I was working on the houses constantly. So, and I always had like a pocket knife as well. But this knife also would just sit right in my center console of the van. You know, like you know how like there's it's bucket seats, and there was a center console thing, and it was like just shoved right between the seat and the center console thing. Um anyways, so I'm going down this alley, and as I'm going down this alley, I turn. Okay, so I'm at a dead end, by the way. I'm at a dead end. I'm driving down this alley, and it's a dead end. And I know where I'm at, right? I know where I'm at. Like, I know what's up. And I turn into one of the apartments or building to turn around. And as I'm backing back up to turn around, this dude jumps in my van with a gun, and obviously, bang, right, points it right at me. Um, I thought at first, just first glimpse, it was my friend because, like I said, I kind of know the area. I know the area very well, not kind of. Um, and so I thought it was one of my homies. At first, right, because my door opened, so I didn't think I was getting robbed. So, but the door gets open and he jumps in, and it's so fast, right? It always is. And bam. Well, he doesn't point it to my head. He has it to his side. So he's like this right here, right? I'm right here. And he's got it like this pointed at me. So I can't reach it. And I got my seatbelt on. So I can't lunge, right, without taking off my seatbelt. I can't do much of anything really, right? I can't reach the gun. And to reach the gun, I'm getting shot 100%, right? Especially if this guy's a killer. Um, and he sounds like a killer, by the way. I've been around a lot of fucking dangerous people, and he sounds like a killer. And he winds up robbing me for some shit. We'll just say some shit. And he looks down and sees the knife, right? Because I'm wanting so bad, like to just grab it and shove it right in his chest. Your heart rate's going though, right? Like I know like what that means if I do that, right? I know what I'm carrying. I know what I got on me. I know what I'm doing. I know I'm a bad guy in a bad situation. So you start thinking about how it's going to play out when the cops show up after you if you shove a knife in someone's chest. So running through all that shit in my head, but I'm like my mind is focused on it, and he realizes it's there. And he just tells me, he says, if you grab that knife, he's like, I'm gonna pop your fucking ass, right? So I knew right away, like he already sees it. I can't grab it now. Like it's too late, it's too late. And so I don't wind up grabbing it, I don't shove it in this fucking chest like I'd like to have. And he robs me and gets out, takes off, whatever. Um the pistol, it was just a little pistol, looked like a little Taurus. Anyways, so um obviously, I tried to get a hold of people, find out who he was, and deal with it, myself afterwards. But I couldn't help but feel like afterwards, like, man, I got caught slipping. And I was more mad about that than what was taken, just the fact that I got caught fucking slipping. It was just that fast. And knowing like I know what's up, I know the neighborhood, I know everything. And I wasn't even strapped. That was another thing I was kind of upset about. Not saying it would have helped. It wouldn't have. But yeah, it sucked. And got me for quite a bit too. I'll be honest. It got me for quite a bit. But with aside from that shit though, I was just upset I got caught slipping, and it was that easy, you know. But it is that easy, and I've been on the other end, so I know how easy it is. And he caught me off guard. Nothing I could do. I couldn't reach him. Couldn't grab the gun. So find out a few days later. I'm trying to catch up with the guy. Through people I know, and I find out. Luckily, I didn't do anything. They wound up. What was that? I don't know, like a couple weeks before that. They had shot somebody. So like they were like, I would have gotten shot. Like he wasn't a guy, somebody. And I wound up finding out who he was and everything, and you know, whatever. But he definitely would have pulled the trigger. That's all I'm saying. Like he wasn't somebody that was scared to pull the trigger. Him and his crew were, some trying to think of the best words to put it in. You know, they were running around getting a bunch of people. And like I said, they had shot people already and shit like that. So they were affiliated. So they were just little gangbangers and shit. Anyways, but yeah. So I did what I could to catch back up with them later on. I'm not gonna talk about that, but he but I guess he was a pretty dangerous dude and fucking definitely would have shot me. And the guy I talked to that did know him or knew of him or whatever was telling me how lucky I was, because other people, they were like fucking up. Like they had shot somebody, another dude, like they had cracked over the head and did some shit to him. So I guess I got lucky. And I was blessed because I didn't get shot. Nothing happened. And what, some bullshit got taken. Who gives a fuck? But it does something to your ego, though. It does something to your ego big time. Wonder how the heat treat was on the knife. Heat treat was on the knife. And here, this was the knife it was, just so you guys see it. It was just this knife. But this is a badass little buck, man. I've had this thing for years. It's so damn comfortable. But I used to use it around my property as like just cutting bullshit, yard stuff. I never cared about, just fucking it up. So I know it has a gut hook, which, is more for hunting. But I used to use it for cutting strings and bullshit. I don't know, whatever, fucking just around the yard. And I didn't care about scraping and poking. Look, I even have the tip is still broken on it from back then. Still, it has the same sheath. It's a great little buck, man. They do a great job. The 191, the handle is done so perfectly. The wood is so good. Perfect thickness, width, and size. This little hump right here is just fantastic, man. This thing is super comfortable. USA made, obviously it's a buck. Hollow ground, drop point blade. I almost wish the gut hook wasn't there. Like just chop that sucker right off. But, I've had it for so long. I'm not going to cut it off now. Had a gun to the back of my head while at a urinal once. I would have pissed myself if not already doing it. No joke. Yeah. That's actually funny though. Yeah, I've had guns put to the back of my head before. But yeah, that's hilarious. So you'd have pissed yourself if you weren't already pissing. That's funny as fuck. First rule of self-defense. If someone asks you for your wallet, hand it to them. Yeah, it wasn't my wallet he came for, but yeah, for sure. I do feel like I have a guardian angel for sure. Thank you. Trixie smells like plastic, Maurice. He knows what Trixie smells like. smells like Maurice and plastic. Situational awareness was poor. Right. Yes. And that's what like that really burnt my ego was that. So I told this story on here before, and I'll just say it really quick because nothing happened. And sometimes I try to be careful with talking about things where things actually happened. But one time I was pulling into a neighborhood, and not even like that bad of a neighborhood or anything, but it's not a good neighborhood. Anyways, so there's like this hotel on one side, and then there's like this I don't know, company factory thing across the street, and there's like a parking lot, but it's all closed. This is nighttime. It's like midnight. And what was weird was the lights were all off in the hotel part too. So there was a road in between the two. So there's a road, a hotel with an empty parking lot, no lights, no street lights, which was weird. And then a little factory thing over here with the parking lot. But I think the factory thing was empty. Like nothing was in there. It was just ran down, just shit. Well, I had turned in and went to turn around. I'm in a big ass van. Like I'm in my dad's handicap van. So big ass fucking van. Anyways, so I go to turn around, and as I'm turning around, as I'm flipping a bitch, I'm turning around, I hear somebody yell something, and I got my window down, by the way. I got my window down. And this dude yells out of nowhere. It's hot outside, guys. It's hot, middle of summer, nighttime. He's running across the street at me. He's got a trench coat on. And he's yelling, help. Help, right? Go fuck yourself, help. He's yelling help to me, and I'm turning around already, so I'm already kind of moving. And I knew what was about to happen. My window was down. I was literally, if I would have just stopped and been like, hey, what's up? I would have just gotten a gun right to my face. Like that's what they were going to do, or he was going to do. So I said, fuck you. So as I'm turning, I literally said that. He goes, help, and is running up to me. And I just said, yeah, fucking right, or fuck you, or something. And I just hit him with my van. Boop, just bam, just ran and I didn't run him over, but I hit him. And he bounced off, and I fucking got the fuck out of there because I knew what was coming. Like I was getting a gun to my face 100%. First of all, people know better. You don't run up to somebody, right, that fast in the dark, wearing a fucking trench coat in the middle of the night when it's hot outside to somebody you don't know. You don't do that at all, right? At all. If you need help, you go about it in a different way, not that way. So that was just like to get me to stop and like wonder if the guy actually needed help. He didn't need no damn help. He needed help getting his gun out. That was about it. So, but wound up hitting his ass, and yeah, I guess he learned to go about that a little bit different next time. Next time, sneak up on the guy a little bit better. Don't come running across the street so fast. Sneak up on a motherfucker. Don't scream help. Just wondering if you thought about driving off. Me? Well, that time I just hit him, but I don't know if you're talking about the other one or thoughts on the Buck 112 and marbled carbon fiber S30V. I mean, I like the Buck 110. I like the Buck 112s. I think they're awesome. I just think they're outdated. I think Buck does a great job with their heat treat. I think it's an iconic knife. I think it's a knife that's tested in time. It's reliable. It's a lot of things. It's just outdated. It's not modern anymore. So I wouldn't carry it. Okay. That's the thing. Like, I like it. I love it. I would own them. I would have them, but I wouldn't carry them. I'm not a big backlock fan, especially like, like that, like a full size. If I'm going to have a backlock, it's going to be like a little jet knife. And while I have my other knife, I had a gun put to the front of my head. I'm 46 and still fucking here. Same, but I'm not 46. I'm 36. I had a fat chick put a gun to my head once because of the cologne I was wearing and take advantage of me. Hey, everybody's been there. I had a girl one time pull my gun out of my holster and put it to my head. Oh, I almost broke that bitch's arm. I've told that story on here before. For not didn't even make any sense. Did not make any sense at all. She was a stripper bitch, and it doesn't make sense. I don't know why she did it, but she just grabbed it out, and I felt it. And then as I felt it get pulled out, I looked over, and she's got the gun to my head, and I fucking snatched her arm so fast, I almost broke her arm, and I didn't slam her on the ground, but like as I grabbed it, I grabbed her arm, and I set her on the ground very gently and gracefully, and took my gun back. That was a long time ago. Jared's scariest part was they were some punk 14-year-old bangers. I was 17. Yeah, they too young to get the gravity of the situation, right? It was a mall. Then same shithead came up to me in the store asking me for a cig. Damn. Yeah, no, they don't know. They don't know. And that's the thing, man. And that's the scariest, most dangerous part is, and I've been there, man. I remember, like the kids in the neighborhoods, they it's so important for them to be tough and to make a name for themselves. They don't understand the gravity of the situation. They expect to get locked up because it's an honorable thing. Like it's almost like it's a badge of honor to get locked up and go to jail until you're doing 70 years and ain't nobody coming to see you. And you know what I mean? They can't grasp that. They can't grasp doing life in prison. They can't grasp, none of that shit. All they can grasp is, you know, what their name will be on the streets, who they will be on the streets and everything. And yeah, it's sad because they don't have a head on their shoulders yet. They just don't understand the gravities of the situation or what can possibly happen. And I've been there, man. I was young, so I remember doing stupid ass shit and being dumb and not realizing, what can happen. Sounds similar to the girl Uber in Pittsburgh. Dude got in, put gun to head, made her drive into back road, then offed her. But the whole time, I think she thought he would do it. Wouldn't do it, probably. Yeah, you usually don't. You usually think they're probably just getting in the car or with a girl, man. That's scary. Like, you know, because she's thinking he's probably gonna, take advantage of her or take the car or whatever. That's why, like now with Ubers, like they make you say your name. Sometimes they just ask you your name, which is so dumb. Like they'll be like, "Oh, Jared," and I'm just like, "Yeah, I could be Charlie, right?" But some of them now are literally like, "What's your name?" Right? They want you to say your name because that's happened where an Uber pulled up, right, to get somebody, and the person jumped in the wrong car. So they didn't jump. Yesterday, I had two Audis pull up. My Uber was an Audi, and the exact same Audi was behind the Audi I jumped in. Luckily, I could tell by the language of the car, but I could have jumped in the wrong car. And that's what happens at clubs and stuff, or on corners of streets, right? Somebody orders an Uber, a car pulls up, they jump in. It's not their Uber. So, and then the guy, it's his lucky day, so to speak, Like, oh, hey, I didn't even have to go fishing tonight. They just came to me. Only close call I ever had, me and a big dude buddy were outside a liquor store. Some guy my size comes up and asks me for a screwdriver. I said, yeah, one in the car, but you're gonna try and rob us with it. Oh, Lonely Stacker with the 2 bones. Let's chat about fun stuff now. I just graduated. Good for you, man. Congratulations. Thank you for the 2 bones. And congratulations to you for graduating, man. Everybody give a round of applause to Lonely Stacker for graduating. That is a tough thing to do. And I applaud you, man. Good for you, man. Good for you. Stay on that right track. That's awesome, man. Proud of you. In Philly that got smoked trying to rob a pizza shop with fake guns. I've known people that have done that. I have a buddy that got locked up for robbing pizza guys and gas stations and shit. Yes, round of applause, round of applause. Congrats, congrats. Definitely. Yes, baby. I'm going for it. You can get arrested for fishing now. Right? Right? Where? I just got it. No, I got it. Yeah, apparently. What's the world coming to? It's messed up. I've been there. My friend graduated with degree in 2012. Yeah, congrats to anybody who can graduate, especially, in these times. I moved to America just in time to order a Winter Blade Co-Factor. Good for you, Stereotype. Good for you. What is on everybody's list of EDC knives this week or this month? I just picked up a couple purchases, but I have them for specific videos. I actually have a heater coming soon. I'll let you guys in on it. So I'm gonna do, and I might have talked about this last week. So if any of you guys want to help out, feel free. But I'm putting together the best USA made knives of all time. And I want to put some fucking heavy hitters in it. Not necessarily crazy expensive, but not necessarily not, right? Just some heavy hitters. And I want to make sure like it's just like the best of the best that USA has to offer. I think it's going to be a badass video. I'm also going to put together the most hard use knives in the world, or just the most hard use folding knives. I want to put together that video. I still do have the USA budget knives coming. I got 3 of them so far, technically 4. So technically I'm working on 1 more. I might technically already have it, but I didn't want to use the one I have, but we'll see what happens. Folders are fixed or both. Well, if there was like, I'm trying to do folders, but like if there was like a really good fixed blade, like I would toss it in it. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be mostly folders. So if I have a hint of some fixed blades, that's cool too. But the most part is going to be mostly folders. For the hard use, it's going to be folders. That's what happens, Maurice. That's what happens. Trixie will give you a hand. Really thinking about buying the Terrain 365 bolster liner lock. Yeah, I never tried that one. But I know a lot of people did like it. So that's cool. Hell yeah. Jared, can you explain how you would sharpen the Tucson TS229 on a fixed angled system? The 229, that's that Tanto, right? The Jelly Jerry Tanto. Let me just look it up really quick so I could show everybody. Maybe I'll just put it up on the screen actually here. Yeah. Okay, so let me just put it up on the screen. It'll help everybody see it really quick. All right. So I've had this one on the channel. And great one, by the way. Really good one. I do like this one. I didn't think I'd like it as much as I do, but I do. Great knife. So it has the, let me go like this. So it has the Tanto, right? So the thing with it is you're going to have to do two different angles. So I would recommend you, if you the plain edge, the smaller bevel on the bottom, if you look, it has a dual grind, but that's not the whole edge. The part that's up here at the Tanto, that's not the edge. That's a dual grind. The edge is the very tip of the apex. Can you guys see my mouse? Yes, you guys can. Okay, so look at my mouse, right where my finger's pointing. That's the edge. This is not the edge. Okay, so this is the edge. So what you can do is you can actually do the same exact angle, okay? Same angle. You don't have to do two different angles. Now you can if you want to, and I'll talk about that, but do the same angle. So when you do it, sharpen this part first, not all the way, just, get your first stone going right here, and then start working this side. Flip it over, go back to this side, start doing this side. Just do each side like it's a different blade. So this is one knife, this is two knife, but you need to marry this point right here. So pay attention. Don't work too much on one area without switching to the next area. You can see it. So as you're working on this area, right, don't work on it too long, and then get to this area and try to get the burr, and then flip, and then go back to this area, work on this area, then go to this area until you get a burr. Switch back and forth often, because what you're trying to do is you want to make sure you marry this tip right here, the secondary tip that's right there. Now, in the end, if it's off centered a little bit, you can fix it up, right? Just make sure you don't move past any of your coarse or medium grit stones without making sure it's lined up perfectly. Now, if you want to, you can do a lower angle up here, but that's going to be a lot more difficult for you. Yes, it'll make it slicier up here, but if you're using a fixed angle system, you're going to have to keep changing your angle constantly. So I would recommend just do the same angle, both sides. This area up here is going to be thicker anyways. So your bevel's going to be bigger up here, especially up towards the tip. So same angle and just sharpen like a Tanto. Now, if you were doing it freehand, I would recommend something a little different. But since you're using a fixed angle system, that's how I'd recommend it. I wanted that brown knives button lock. Fuck the lock engagement when holding. Yeah, I know. And I know that other people didn't have that issue, but some people did. Right? I'm not the only one that did, but there's also other people that didn't. So it's hard to say if you're gonna have that issue. It sucks, man. I know it killed me inside because I like that knife a lot, like a lot. I will definitely try this thing. Tatka! That was crazy sale. You want to have this? I just got a tactile knife coat Bear. Was gently used, looked like new, but needs an edge. Magna Cut Steel 61 HRC. What angle and grit you recommend? So 61 HRC. Don't bring it to a polish. Now, okay, so my Magna Cut on my rock wall, I did bring it to a polish, and it took a great polish. Other Magna Cut that I sharpened at 62 below HRC, it didn't take a great polish. My rock wall did, though. So, it's hard to say because I've sharpened a bunch of Magna Cut, and it seems that under 62.5, you want to keep a medium to medium grit. Above 62.5, you can go as polished as you want, and it gets nasty sharp, especially 63 and up. But I would say if you want to keep it safe, go 17 degrees per side. It's 600 grit. That's the safest bet. Now you can try it out and go higher and see if it holds the bite. And if it doesn't, say if you go up to say 1500 grit or 2000 grit and you can tell like it's not holding the bite at 17 degrees per side, drop it back down to 1000 grit or 600 grit. But if you just want to keep it safe and you don't want to put in the extra work for nothing, just keep it at 1000 grit or below, 17 degrees per side. The 17 degrees will ensure that you're going to have a lot of bite, because 17 degrees is a great angle that's low without being too low and also not being too high. Like, it's that happy medium zone. If your edge bevel, if it was a thick edge, I would, 17 degrees will create a big bevel. But on something like this, it won't be a very big bevel. It'll look clean on it. It'll look perfect on it, and it'll hold a lot of bite. And you're not going to sacrifice a lot of toughness either. Brady says, I learned in firearms training how to get a one-armed man out of a tree. Wave at him. That's hilarious. Now it says Veneve P400 is what, about 1100 grit? About 1200, yeah. I don't have any 600 grit diamond plates. Was thinking 17. That's what I do on most of my stuff. So good to know. Yeah, 17 degrees would be good. But yeah, P400 would be about 1200 grit. Or F, it's technically an F, but yeah, the F400. You can basically times it by 3 and you'll get a good average of where it's at. Now, the 1200 is around 5,000 grit, so it's not perfect when I say times it by 3, but generally it's right around there. So the 400 would be, 4, 8, 12, so around 1200. So the F400, then 3 emulsion, half micron emulsion, and 14C is crazy good. Yeah, but 14C, man, 14C just, the thing is that AEBL, since it was made for razor blades, because remember, 14C comes it's like an analog or whatever from that steel. So since that steel, AEBL, was made for razor blades, it was made for really fine geometry, right? It was made for super thin geometry. So having really low angles and fine grits and all that, it's like basically made for that shit. So 14C, since it has also, more carbides than AEBL, it's going to be able to hold a better edge and even take a better edge. AEBL, I don't even like the way AEBL is. AEBL, yes, it takes a really good fine edge, but to me, it needs a coarse to medium grit. 14C, being different and having carbides and everything, it has the ability to really take a fine edge, like really, really fucking good, like insanely good. So yeah, I agree. Now, the only time I've ever seen 14C not take a lot of bite and polish is because it was way too high of an angle. It's like way too high of an angle. Nice stereotype. That's awesome. Yeah, getting into sharpening is always fun, man. It's very therapeutic. I finally got a work sharp. Nice. Get aftermarket parts. If you haven't already. Cue ball with the 5 bones. 2 weeks to go. Congratulations on 100. Yes, we hit 140K. Fuck yeah. Watch out, Nick Shabazz. Neevesknives is coming. What's Nick at? Let's find out. I need to find out. No, I don't do this on my own time and sit here and check what Nick Shabazz is at. Better watch out, Nick. You better watch out. I'm getting close. 8 more thousand to go. I'll see you in a couple days. Shout out to Nick Shabazz, man. Awesome dude. And yeah, awesome guy. And channel. He definitely helped pave the way for channels like mine. I've taken 14C up to 2,000 grit and still abiding. Usually only take it to 800 though. I've taken it to 5,000, then to quarter micron. As long as the angle's right, it takes, like right now, Is this my M390 or 14? No, this is my. I got the same knife in 14C with a polished edge, and it has just as much, if not more, bite than my M390 at the same grit, same micron, same everything, same angle, literally the exact same edge. So I would say it's even better, even more bite. But M390 has the ability, as long as the heat treat is decent, especially if it's at a good HRC and shit, it has the ability to take an incredibly sharp polished edge. Really good. But it also has the ability to do the opposite if it's soft, if it's really soft. But again, the angle does matter. The angle matters. Angle always matters. Only a matter of time, little Nicky. Kevin Stones, but like the clamp and stuff makes a lot better sense to him. Jared, any experience sharpening Victoria? Yeah. It's a simple steel. You don't need diamonds, that's for sure. You can use diamonds though. I would say just don't use something too coarse. Depends on what we're talking about too, because like I have kitchen knives with Victorinox steel, and I have little knives with Victorinox steel. So if you're doing something really thin and small, just start with a medium grit if you have diamonds. If you have a regular stone like Arkansas or something like that, aluminum oxide, that'll work just fine. It's not a high carbide steel or anything like that. So it's just a simple steel, super simple. So there's simple and then there's super simple. It's a super simple steel. So you can sharpen it on anything. You guys have stones? I just have the mug. Yeah, I would say it makes a great emergency honer. So that's how I would put that, because sharpening means you're removing steel and creating a burr, creating an edge bevel. The top of a car window will create a micro bevel, or it'll hone. So that's honing an edge. But yes, it will hone an edge, just like a ceramic cup will hone an edge. It's the same thing as a ceramic stone. Same thing. Yoda, I got some carbide die grinder bits and been customizing my ZT55 or 562 blade profile. It's looking more and more like a Hinder style Bowie. Hell yeah. Doing some mount action. Sharpening my Arius on the concrete slab today, Breeze. You guys probably didn't see it, but I did a short. So I sharpened somebody's Arius. And I did a short, and it said sharpening $1,000 knife. And I explained in the video, what it's like sharpening $1,000 knife, blah, blah, blah. I got 1,000 comments like, what does anybody need $1,000 knife for? You're never even going to use it. Like every comment you can imagine about from people not understanding. So I made a video with my Shurogorov, and I opened it up and I said, here is a Shurogorov F3R. And I said, oh, it's about $1,000 knife. And then I flipped it over and I fucking stabbed it into a boot, and then I cut the boot in half. And then I cut a piece of paper nice and clean. Because I also got like 1,000 comments like, yeah, use it once, the edge will be trash. It was crazy. I got so many comments after taking a knife that wasn't very sharp versus a knife that was super sharp, cutting the paper. I got a bunch of comments of people saying, yeah, but the sharp one won't last. The other one will last longer. It's like, what? Like, who told you this? Like, where are you getting this information? Like, why would a knife with a high angle that's not sharp, right? That's sharp, but it's not very sharp, outcut a knife with a low angle that's super sharp? Like, what? It's like, of course, the knife, like, I know they just don't know knives, but a lower angle will increase your edge retention. So a knife with a high angle, medium grit or low grit edge that's just mediocre is not going to outcut a fine grit, low angle, razor sharp edge. It'll be tougher, but it's not going to have more edge retention, even with, considering they have the same steel and everything. Right. And if it's already not that sharp, right? Like, how long is it going to take to get dull compared to something that's super duper sharp? Right? Like, it's already almost a dull. Like, of course, it's going to go duller faster than the one that's super sharp. And they're not considering the angle. Like, you get more edge retention out of a lower angle. Please check out Yoda's tool collecting channel. Here's the link. Thank you, Cue Ball. Hell, I was going to send you my areas. Hope I see boot cut in action. There you go. Give you some boot cut in action. Steel tote. See how it goes. I like doing some of those shorts. I think there's people that think I'm trolling them, even though I'm not. Like, I'm dead serious. But I'm thinking about just starting to troll people. Like, I get some weird comments, and it's hilarious. So, like, I'm starting like to get like the mindset around, like, these guys don't watch my channel, right? All they watch is my shorts. So they know nothing of me or my channel. They just know I post these weird knife videos. So it's like, I'm thinking about I'm just to start trolling them. Let me get that view. I couldn't believe it. My shorts did so good that YouTube contacted me and gave me a bonus. That's crazy. That's awesome. That's so amazing. I knew that there was a potential for that. They said it like 5 months ago or 4 months ago. They were going to choose random people that did good on shorts and give them a little bonus. And I got picked. That's amazing. That means my shorts did really good. Yoda says, I'm a pro troll. Ask me if you need ideas. Awesome. I might just do that. I might just do that. It's because of Maurice. Jared, you know it. If my lowest grip is an F80, do I need an Atoma 140 or am I good enough? So, to be honest, I would say still get an Atoma 140 if you got the money. The reason why is because even if, let's say, both of them are the same grit, right? Even if they're both the same grit, a regular diamond plate will always cut faster than a Veneve. Not saying a Veneve doesn't cut fast, because it does, but not compared to a diamond plate. So if you're doing a lot of reprofiling, especially on knives that are thicker geometry, you want to cut fast. You don't want to fuck around. Like, you could literally spend 3 hours just reprofiling a knife if it's a Medford or something, if not longer. Like, it can take you a long time if you're lowering the angle, right? Like, say if you take a Medford that's 35 thousandths behind the edge and you're trying to lower it to 15 degrees per side, pack your fucking lunch, right? So get a stone as aggressive as possible. So I just say, you're going to remove the same amount of steel anyways, right? No matter what. Think about it. You're removing the same amount of steel no matter what. Why not make ease of removing the initial amount of steel that it takes to reprofile? So get the most aggressive possible stone, whatever it is. If it's a 140, it's a 140. If you can get 50, get 50. Whatever it is, because you're going to refine it. You're not going to keep it that. You're still going to move up to your 80, right? Your F80 or, your F150, whatever, right? You're going to move along and go up the grit and refine it still. You're just using that initial aggressive stone to just reprofile. So I say, if you have the money and you can afford it, get it and do it. It will save you a lot of time, like a lot of time. I don't fuck around. Like I used to reprofile on my Neevesknives, and I got the coarse ones. I used to reprofile them. I don't anymore. It's just a waste of time. Why would I do that when I can go twice as fast, at least twice as fast on a 140 Atoma? Because it's hyper aggressive. Now, the one bad thing, now there's two negatives to the Atomas. Two negatives. One, they break into about 300 grit pretty quickly. So they're 140 right off the bat, but about 10 knives in, they go to about 300 grit. Maybe a little bit more, give or take, right? Depends on the steel you're sharpening, the geometry, how much time you spend on the stone. But let's just say it breaks into 300 grit pretty quickly, but it's still very aggressive. But what winds up happening is it gets less and less aggressive over time. And then when it gets to a certain point, like say around 300 grit, it's still aggressive and it's still cutting very, very fast, faster than a Neve. But what'll happen is as you're going across the stone, it'll cut really fast at first, and it'll get to a point to where it's like, it's almost like you have to switch stones really quick, then go back. The surface is just like, it's too slick for those diamonds to bite into. So what I like to do is when that happens, you get to a point to where you've made the edge, the surface of the edge bevel too slick and the stone doesn't feel like it's doing anything, just switch stones really quick. Switch stones, work on it for like 2-3 minutes, then switch back and it'll start cutting again. It's just like you just need to cut new scratches into the edge bevel so that the diamonds bite into the edge again. A lot of people that sharpen a lot will know what I'm talking about when you've used a stone to the point to where like you still have a little bit more to do, but you basically have the edge bevel like 90% done. You only have 10% left, and that 10% is going 10 times slower than the 90% one. It's just because the surface is literally like the same as the grit of the stone, and the diamonds aren't biting into it. They're just sliding over the surface. So get another stone, it'll scratch up the surface, and then go back to that stone that's super aggressive, and it'll finish cutting it like that. Just a little trick. My Beavercraft strap and gunnage juice just came in the mail today. Can't wait to test it. Hell yeah. Oh shit. Jared, if I can't get an Atoma, but a Cami Beast or 100 grit, which would you recommend to use before the F80? If you can get the 50 grit Beast, get it. But I mean, what are you using for the KME? If you have the KME, then yeah, get the Beast. Get the Beast and the Atoma. Get them both. You're gonna use them. That's the thing. You will never, with diamond plates. With diamond plates, Neevesknives, things like that, they will never go to waste. So it's a great investment no matter what. No matter what. Like if you have the money, if you have a few extra bucks at the end of the week, end of the month, whatever, then you can get them both. Get them both. If you can't get one, get the next one next month. It's an investment and you're going to use it. You will wear out the 140. You will wear out whatever. You're going to wear it out. The only one that will be an investment to the point to where you're not going to wear it out is the Neevesknives. And you're still going to have to refinish them. But you're not going to want to do your reprofiling on a Neevesknive after a while. You're going to want an aggressive diamond plate. I will replace my aggressive diamond plates before I fucking use my Neevesknives to reprofile. But I have to do a lot, and I have to do a lot of thick edges. So it saves so much more time for me. So if I have to wear out 5 140 grits, then so be it. Because I'd rather take the money and spend it on the Atoma than the 3 extra hours it'll take me to reprofile on. Not saying it'll take 3 hours for sure, but if you're doing something really thick like I'm talking about, if you're doing something really thin, then yeah, maybe it doesn't matter to you if you're only doing thin geometry knives. In that case, who cares? But when you're doing knives that are thick behind the edge and reprofiling them to really to low angles, you want to cut fast, man. You do. As fast as you can, because you're removing the same amount of steel no matter what. Josh with the 5 bones, man. Thank you. Thank you guys for the donations. My boy out here doing thick edges. Got to get them thickens. Got to get them thickens. Thank you again for the donation, man. I always feel like the top of the bevel on the tip makes the longest to get on a fixed angle system. I have to work hard to get it the rest of the blade smooth. I put my finger under the tip to keep from rolling stone. The top of the bevel. So you're talking about the very apex of the edge. Well, if you're working your way down, so if you're putting a low angle, then you're starting at the top of the edge bevel and working your way down. If you're putting a lower angle on it, then you're starting at the apex and moving your way up the edge bevel. So what I would say, obviously, the longer one is usually going to be starting with a lower angle, right? Starting at the top of the edge bevel and sharpening your way down to the apex. That's going to take the longest. And yes, the very tip of the apex is going to take the longest, especially near the tip and the heel of the blade. And sometimes there's little spots where they misground it and you got to get it. But get it out. Don't move on until you get those out. Get everything done with your coarsest stones, because you're removing the most amount of steel. Moving on, it almost has never went well for me when I've moved on in stones. Like when I'm just like, I'll get it on the next stone, right? I got most of it. I got 90% of it. I'll get it on the next stone. No, you won't. No, you won't. You'll be working on it all day. Gregory with the 10 bones. Thank you, brother. My knives have never been sharper, brother. Bang. Thank you, man. Thank you for the donation, too. You hear that first bell I did, man? It sounded like my bell went out on us. Thank you, man. Thank you for the donation. What does that say? I've made a... No, not that one. I've made a few drop points into flat points. Not intentionally, though. Flat points. Okay, that's interesting. Did you see Blades and Fades finally move? Yes, I did. I congratulated him. That's awesome, man. Good for him on getting the new place. I'm happy for him. Proud of him. Big things coming. Big things coming. Big things popping. I'm so happy for him, because sometimes, man, location matters, man, and it can really hold you back on where you're located, where you're at, and the things that hinder your environment. And I know he wasn't in the most optimal place, so good for him on the move. I hope the best for him. He's definitely in our prayers. What part? Oh, that's not for me. All right, guys, I'm gonna take off. It's getting late and I gotta get to bed. I gotta get up at 3:30 in the morning. Bang, bang. Thank you guys for joining me. I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me and shooting the shit and always having a good time. I also want to thank everybody who donated tonight. Donations always help so much. It helps massively. And also thank you to everybody who supports through Patreon and the Bang Gang members. We got almost 100 Bang Gang squad members. And then also, I think we have like 8 rock studs in the Bang Gang squad. Just so they know, they always have the ability to get one-on-one sharpening if they want. If they ever need help with sharpening, if you're a rock stud, you can get one-on-one sharpening with me. But shout out to all you guys. I love you guys. Thank you guys for everything. Peace.